You're now listening to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. Straightforward, no nonsense business advice. Completely unfiltered. Grow your business. Grow your life. Now, here's your host, Brian Fullerton.
Brian's going to be along in just a moment. Hey there, I'm Mr. Producer. You're going to really like today's show. We are joined by Daryl Prentice of Prentice Lawn and Landscape. He's out of Knoxville, Tennessee. I hear Rocky Top playing there in the background. Daryl's going to be sharing with Brian his story about starting his lawn care business as sort of a side hustle and how he went to full-time in just a couple of years, and now he's reinvesting into the company, upgrading equipment, and really just in the midst of it, like so many of you, getting his business off the ground. We're going to hear a quick word from our sponsor and then be right back with Brian's interview with Daryl Prentice. Billy Goat is excited to introduce its new high-volume cleanup Leaf Dragon leaf loader. The unit's fuel-efficient 37 gross HP EFI Vanguard 933cc engine is coupled to a 25-inch diameter shredding impeller with a long-span belt for increased life and generates 6,900 CFM of leaf suction. The electric start engine features automotive-style cold weather starting and is up to 25% more fuel-efficient than carbureted models. A 16-inch diameter times 10-foot long hose affords true curbside intake and is supported with a 3-position locking boom, allowing for 45 square feet of cleanup coverage before moving the unit. That's double the reach of most other units on the market, offering large jumps in crew productivity. The double-loop hose handle provides 3 unique positions for added operator ergonomics. A 2-pin door closure provides fast access impeller and liner inspection, and a soft-angle discharge chute reduces wear. The unit includes an integral road-ready DOT trailer and delivers everything you need to burn through your leaf cleanups this fall.
I was out yesterday mowing in the rain, actually.
Oh, no kid.
Yeah.
Do you guys, it's funny. Some people do that. Some people don't. I'm always nervous that like my customers would murder me. You know what I mean? So,
I typically don't, but what I had to do yesterday was I do a big industrial park, and it had to be done. I skipped it last week because of rain, and I couldn't skip it this week. So
I got it. I get you.
It was the tail end of the rain, and I was like, "We're going out, and we're just mowing this, and then we're going home."
Yeah. What do you guys do in that situation? Did you just like raise the mower deck height to like 4.5 inches or something, or whatever?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
just a little buzz cut.
Yeah. A little buzz cut, and I mean, if it's like a residential house or something that I have to do, then I'll double cut if need be. But like that one cut perfect. I think I cut it at 4 1/4. I may have been at 4.5, but it cut beautifully.
Okay. Well, that's awesome, man. Well, good for you guys. That's that rain is never a fun thing to work with, man. It's just one of the banes of our industry. But at the same point, it's a necessary evil, even. You know what I mean? So you gotta roll with the punches, right? But well, tell me a little bit about your business, man. What do you guys got going on?
So you want to know like backstory, or?
Yeah, let's just jump into it, man.
Jump into it. All right. So it really started when I was a kid. I remember 7, 8 years old. My uncle had a big lawn and landscape company down in Southwest Florida, where I'm from. And I'd ride around with him all the time and go to the shop, and he'd, he taught me how to sharpen mower blades and all that fun stuff. So I got to do all the fun stuff of the lawn and landscape thing.
Mm-hmm.
Fast forward a little bit, 10, 12, 13 years old, I started mowing in the neighborhood by myself, making $20 a yard as a 10, 11-year-old, and I had like 4 or 5 yards, and I was balling.
Yeah.
And then, so then did that for a couple summers and got out of it. Always still loved the lawn and landscape side of everything. Went into the automotive world for a long time. I was a technician, service advisor.
Okay. At a local dealership or something, probably?
Yeah, at a local dealership. But it was always all my spare time, I was still looking at lawnmowers, still looking at landscaping stuff, still talking to my now wife, about wanting to start the business and wanting to do this. And I had an opportunity to buy a whole setup for a decent price and couldn't get a loan because no one that I knew thought that I was going to take it seriously. Mm-hmm. And that's on me because that's how I was for a long time. It was being an automotive technician, you bounce from place to place. So no one really took me seriously. Well, then finally 3 years ago, we were in a decent spot for financial wise, and I kept talking about it. My wife finally looked at me and said, "No, if you don't start it, you can't talk about it no more. So either start it and let's go, or hush."
Yeah.
So back to 2018, I think it was 2019. I went out. I found a little $300 Toro Time Saver zero turn mower. That's what I started out with, and a little $500 pull behind trailer. And then I had a weed eater and a backpack blower I bought off of a pawn shop for $60 that didn't run.
Okay.
And we got it fixed, and it was the best $60 for a steel backpack blower that I could get. So we jumped in. First year we had 10 clients. At that point, it was more of a hobby.
Were you still at the dealership at that time, or was this just, did you go all in?
Yeah, no, still at the dealership.
Okay.
So we were still at the dealership, working full time at the dealership, and then rolling out and going and cutting a couple days a week. So I was 8 to 5 at the dealership, and then 5 to 9 from mowing.
Yep. And you had about 10 to 15 accounts at the time, you were saying?
Yeah, about 10, 15 accounts at the time.
Did you notice like that extra income really helping you guys out to pay off mowers, pay off debt? Like what was family life looking like back then?
Really, I really didn't know how to price out yards. I was never that $20 guy, that quote unquote, $20 guy.
Yeah.
But so that first year, I was able to pay off the mower that I borrowed from our savings account. I paid that back,
That's cool.
I was able to upgrade my residential weed eater to a commercial weed eater, or string trimmer, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
I got rid of that $60 blower and bought the steel BR 700. So there was definitely some. I was using all the money I was making to pour back into the business. Really
cool.
And so we did.
Well, I was just going to say, like, that's one of the cool things you can do when you have both a job and a small business on the side. Like, I always encourage people, hey, reinvest everything you can and get the nicest equipment before you make the jump, and or double dip and try to pay off, some debt, or, put some money in the savings account before you go all in. Bank a year's worth of income for 20 grand, 15 grand, 30 grand, 50 grand, whatever. But that's really, really cool. So that was 2018 or 19. How did things progress? Because I think you said you're full-time now. So how does the story go from there?
Yeah. So that was 2019. And at the end of 2019, that little mower, was great, but I finally went out and I went out to the local big box store and bought a residential zero turn John Deere mower, and man, I, thinking I'm hot shot big time with my $3,000 mower, but it was small upgrades.
Sure.
So that was end of 2019. We bought that, got it paid off. Started season 2020.
If you don't mind me asking, what mower was that? Because a lot of people are always asking for like that mid-tier mower, and not everybody can just run out and buy a $10,000-$12,000 lawnmower, you know?
Yeah, it's a 48-inch John Deere Z. I got to read here.
Because I
still use it actually today.
I was going to say that's a question I get a lot, and people are always asking me about, the Ariens 48s and 52s and the Hustlers and and every brand's got like a mid tier, which is why I ask, because there's the number one question I get, and I'm doing the commercial thing, so I'm not really on the come up, and I wish I would have known what was a good $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 mid-grade mower. That's a video I still would love to do. If anybody's got suggestions, shoot me an email. But from Bad Boys to Ariens to Gravely's, even the big brands, the Toros. I'm just always curious. That's my number one question I probably get, other than like how to get customers, is like, what's a good mower to buy with a $5,000 budget? And I'm like, I couldn't even tell you, because all the big mowers, right? They used to be $8, $9, $10,000, and I'm like, hey, if you can just stretch it, I just go all in. But now these things are turning into 10, 12, 14, 16,000. And that question, I have to reevaluate that question, or that answer, I should say, to people is, I don't think most people can stretch 5 to 12. Could you? Sure. But any which way, not to interrupt, but yeah, sorry.
No, you could. It's the John Deere Z355E.
355E. Okay.
Yep.
Cool. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's that. Like I said, I have a lot of friends that I've done coaching calls with, and they have like Hustlers and Ariens or a Husqvarna, good mid-tier mower, and then they're able to upgrade to like the top of the line of said brand. You know what I mean? So, but do you like John Deere? Like or is that just what you happen to pick up, or are you a John Deere fan, or?
That was just what I happened to pick up.
That's cool.
It was available. John Deere's okay. I was going to run a John Deere. I was going to get a walk behind, and that fell through. I ended up getting a Ferris FW35 52-inch walk behind.
Oh, okay.
It was my next big upgrade. That was 2020. And that thing's, man, that's just a workhorse.
Yeah, those
I love it.
those Ferrises are pretty solid. And what I forget the SKU number, for the one that's the new like walk behind one. It's like a 32 or 36 or maybe a 48, but it might be even the one you're talking about, the FW. Is that the line, the FW line?
Yeah.
Okay. How do you like those? Because I've heard a couple of guys pick up the smaller ones and they seem to like them, but I'm curious how those are going.
I love it, man. I'm really big on dealer support now. We don't have the best dealer support for Ferris around here, but as far as I would put my stripes on my Ferris comparable to, I would put them up to anything.
That's awesome.
Whether it be the X marks or the Skags.
Okay.
I think it cuts just as well as they do. I love it, and I'm actually looking at stand-ons now. So,
are you sticking with the Ferris lineup then, with your dealers selling Ferris, like the Z2s, the Z3X, or I think it is?
Yeah, I'm trying to compare. I've been watching a lot of videos. I've actually been watching a lot of your older videos on when you were doing the
demos.
The demos and the comparison of the Wrights and the Ferrises and the Skags. Just trying to.
It's funny that I really enjoyed that Ferris Z3X demo. It was a really, really good mower. The local dealer for me is a little over like an hour away, so I just I work a lot with Exmark, and then they came out with a standard. Then they came out with like a better standard. Thank God, the Vertex. But I still have a guilty pleasure for that Z3X. Little shout out to the Ferris team, you know. I haven't really got to work with them since, gosh, maybe I don't know, man. When were those videos? 2017, 2018? Because I did that Oil Guard video for them, and people were just mocking Oil Guard. And now it's like standard equipment. Everybody's like, Oil Guard's where it's at. And I'm like, I said that 5 years ago, and people made fun of me. They're like, that'll never work. And I'm like, and I didn't have any skin in the game. I was like, hey, sponsored video, like make a couple $100, you know? But that's the Z3X was actually pretty dope. And for like my 3.5 acre property, I need something big like that. Just because it used to be an old hayfield, and until I can really like level it out or whatever, I need something with big tires, and that Z3X is something I've been thinking way back in the recess of my brain. I'm like, that might be something that I might be able to pick up for my own property, maybe get a used one or something with some hours on it, you know. But are your properties wide open, or are you more like urban where you need a 36, or can you get a big 52, 61, whatever?
So where we're at, I'm quote unquote Knoxville. I'm on the outskirts of Knoxville where we are. You know, mostly it's old farmland where we are.
Okay.
So, you know, acre lots. I think my smallest yard is like a half acre.
Wow, that's crazy.
But it's wide open, you know. So, you know, it's half acre, and the house is right dead center in the half acre, and you have quite a bit of room. So yeah, I'm not looking at the 36 inch and stuff like that. So I'm looking 61s, 52s.
Yeah.
You know, big decks, because my smallest yard's a half acre. My biggest property is it's a 5.5 acre commercial property.
Man, with a 48 inch, that probably takes all day.
It does. Me and my 13-year-old decided he wanted to start working with me back in, he's 13, almost 14 now, but back 2020, he was like, I want to go work with Dad. So,
sure.
You know, he works with me every summer. Like over the summer this last year, I had to force him to take days off because I was like, you still need to be a kid, man.
Yeah. That's awesome. You know, get 2 mowers out there, man.
Yeah. So that's what we do. The commercial property, they let me mow on Saturdays. That way I can have him still come with me since school started. And
that's cool.
He still comes out on Saturdays and we knock it out. You know, it's 8 man hours.
Wow.
But between the two of us, we knock it out in 4.
That is a game changer when you can have 2 guys or 2 mowers rocking and rolling. I only had 1 mower for a decade because we had a 0 downtime policy at our dealer where they would just get you back out there. But that's not necessarily the case these days. They still can, they still do, they still offer that. But you know, I'm realistic. Like equipment's harder to find, things are breaking down, take longer to get fixed. We have 3 or 4 large commercial sites on Monday. We have like 7 or 8 sites that we do on Monday, our commercial day, and which is also half a day now of commercial on Tuesday. But there's a couple properties where there's a 5 acre, a 3 acre, another one, I don't know, it's this huge industrial thing as well. I don't know. It's probably about 3 acres again. And just having, you know, there's only 15 minutes of trim time, but when you put 2 mowers out there, it just makes the property go that much quicker, you know. And obviously, because Rob will grab the Z, I'll grab the Vertex, and we're off to the races. Are you knowing a little bit that you're a Ferris guy? Are you have you tried their IS? I forget the SKUs, folks, but the 2000 or the 3200, like they have those 0 turns, and then they have the Z. I know the Z2, the Z3, or whatever. Are you looking at either or? Any preference, stand versus sit? Which ones have you looked at?
I'm really looking at stand, just because I feel that standing's easier on your body.
Sure.
With sitting, yeah, you get to sit and you get to hang out and you're on the moat. But when you're sitting for 4 hours and like I said, we're all old fields, farm fields, so it's not like you're nice and smooth.
Yeah. Yep.
So it's beating you up all day long. I'm trying to get away from the sit down versus the stand or versus standers.
Okay.
Because I feel it's going to be easier on the body.
Well, that Z3 has huge front tires and huge rear tires. That's why.
Yeah.
I was saying the same thing. That or a like a Wright dually. I was gonna buy Mitchell Gordy's off him, but he didn't want to budge on the price. So, and I don't blame him. But I was like, I wanted to get one with like 1,000 hours on it. His had like 100 hours on it or whatever. So he wanted top dollar, rightfully so. But if I could get that, my property's like old farm property. Like that's what it is. So it's very bumpy. Now if you mow at 4 inches and go 5 miles an hour, it's not bad. But you're trying to go 8 miles an hour on that thing. There's no way. And that's why it takes, an hour and a half, 2 hours to mow. But yeah, I'm right there with you. I need to get a mower with big tires and something that can still keep some speed,
Yeah.
That's awesome. So hopefully in the future, maybe next year, or what's the timeline looking like for a mower upgrade?
Yeah, I think it's going to be next year. I'd love to be able to buy new, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Sure.
We're probably going to buy something that's gently used, less than 500 hours or something like that.
That's cool.
But that's planned for next year, and I'm really so. I had to buy a new truck this year. My truck went down on me, so I had to buy a new truck. Otherwise, I was going to buy a new mower this year, but the truck went down, so I had to buy a new truck. I pushed the mower off.
Yeah. What did you end up picking up?
I got a brand new 2022 F-150.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Those are nice.
Man, I love it. I was really unsure about it because it's just a little. They're small. It's 2.7 V6. And I was really nervous about it. But my dealership, it's actually the dealership I worked at. They let me hook up all my equipment up to it and go on a test drive. And I drove it for a good 45 minutes up hills, down hills, back roads, interstate. And it pulled better than my Hemi did.
Wow. Well, I know those EcoBoost engines, the 2.5, the 3.5, 3.3, whatever they have nowadays. They do have some gumption to them. They can pull 6,000 plus pounds. It's wild.
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't even know the motors or the trailers back there.
Wow, that's awesome.
And I went from 9 miles a gallon to 15 miles a gallon.
Hey, that helps.
So, especially with gas being, gas here didn't get real crazy, but it was still pushing $5 a gallon.
Right. That helps.
That helps. And my payment went up from what I was, but my fuel savings went up. So it still ended up costing me about the same when you average out what I was paying in fuel for the old truck plus the cheaper truck payment.
That's cool. That's cool.
This truck payment.
It's funny because that you say that, because I'm not a big watch the gas prices kind of guy. I know it's $5 a gallon, then it's $4 a gallon. I'm just like, well, it's not two, just to put that out there, pretty obvious statement. And I'm like, wow, that's different. It seems it's for 4 years it's $2, for 4 years it's $5. It's just funny how that works. And so one thing though that you had mentioned is filling up. I was filling up the other day, and we fill up almost every day, every other day. And just to fill up the mowers, it's $75 to $90, which is wild. And then the truck, it's, easily $125. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's $4 or $5 a gallon. It's easily $125. It doesn't even fill up the truck all the way. And but I'm just thinking to myself, okay, simple math. If fuel is twice as expensive, or let's say it like this, it was half the cost as last year, I'm like, and it's, I don't know, $150 every time we fill up the rig, and we fill up, let's just say conservatively 2 times a week, but it's probably more than that, at least on the mowers. And I'm spending $1,200, $1,500 a month in fuel. I'm like, that's $700 or $600 that I could have right back into just profit, just pure profit for the company, arguably. Yeah. And I'm like, times, I was telling Rob, times 12 is $7,000. okay, we're not mowing 12 months out of the year, but even if it's 6 months, I said 6 times 6 is $3,600. I said that's a vacation. I said that's a $1,000 bonus to my guy Rob and $2,500 profit to me. And I mean, it's just from gas, just from like little simple stuff like that. So smart of you to pick a pretty eco, good power, good EcoBoost engine like the one on the F-150.
Yeah, it helps out a lot. Yeah, I fill up every day because I'm like you. I don't pay attention to gas prices. I just know I pull up to the pump and
it's going.
It's going. So, I went from probably, and where I noticed it is when I fill up equipment and truck and everything, it was $80, $90 every day. Well, now it's $40, $50 a day.
That's awesome. So you can directly see the savings with, and you're not breaking down or having unreliability issues, right?
Exactly.
I was there for the longest time, man. I was on a live stream actually with Cornell Mack about 2 weeks ago, and his truck had broke down, and it's a brand new truck, like 2021. It from what I understand, it was all warranted and everything got all fixed and all set. But I had an 02, man. I had an 02 F-150, and that thing was my chariot. But it literally, I'm not even exaggerating, broke down once a month. It was coil packs, starters, spark plugs. The axle actually went on the back right. It was an independent axle, I guess, or something. So I had to replace one side of that. And every day I was like, and people are like, don't buy new. You're going to get a monthly payment. I'm like, I'm already paying $600 a month in repairs. Like, no lie. So I was like, $349 a month for 6 years sounds great to me, or whatever. Just being a butt. But I hear you, man. And it doesn't mean you got to go buy a $55,000 truck, but nonetheless, like there is some merit to having a car that's made, in the current decade that you live in, so, I mean, for crying out loud, but, well, here, let me ask you this. I got about 5 or so minutes left and then I got a hard stop. I got a busy morning, but let me ask you this. Where's the business at today? What are you excited about today? And, what do you got going on maybe over the next 12, 18 months?
Yeah. So, finishing on the backstory a little bit there, we went from 10, 15 accounts. COVID hit. The dealership came up to me and was like, "Hey, your heart's not here, and we're suffering. You got this business you can fall back on, so we're going to let you go." So, my birthday of 2020, I said, "Well, I guess I'm going full time." So I started full time with 10, 15 accounts. Ended that year with 30 accounts, and so I picked up 15 accounts from June till October.
Wow.
And now we're sitting right at about 50.
Wow.
Solo.
That's awesome. That's huge.
Yeah. So I mean, and my phone still blows up daily. I get 3, 4, 5, 6 calls a day of people wanting, even now in September. We're still getting blown up. And then I just can't take on anymore. But, we went from what we were to, this year I secured a big commercial property that was a $20,000 a year maintenance contract.
Wow. That's huge.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I made the first, couple years doing this was $20,000. And I'm like, holy, so I'm winning. So this next year, what I think we're going to try to do is condense our route down a little bit because I'm still traveling, I have a lot of windshield time,
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to try to condense that down, get the new mower, and just keep hammering away, man. And trying to grow this thing and thinking I might try to hire someone next year, as an actual full-time person, because we're getting to that point where if I want to grow anymore, I'm going to need help.
That's right. That makes sense. Are you what are you guys looking to expand into, like multiple crews or landscaping, or obviously things are growing fast and you can take some time to think about everything in the off season, but where do you see things going from there? Are you guys excited about having the one crew and getting the finances just in order, paying things off, and keep upgrading equipment at the moment?
At the moment, yeah. Eventually, I'd like to. My big in the big scheme of things, I'd like to have probably 2 mowing crews, of 3 guys, and then start doing landscaping. I got a local landscape guy here that's really wanting to take me under his wing. He's a hardscaper, actually. He's wanting to take me under his wing and show me all that stuff, because
it's a lot.
It is a lot, and I am learning as I go. I knew automotive stuff. I didn't know how to run a business. I knew how to mow. So
sure.
So I'm really it's learn as you go, and the school of hard knocks, as they say.
Yeah.
Which I've learned a lot. I've learned. I listened to you. I listened to Paul over there and Keith and
I like how you like Paul over there, like he's in the corner or something.
Yeah, old green industry over there.
The good old Paul,
The good old Paul.
Paul and I talk almost every day. Those folks are just a lifeline. I listen to them every day, man. Are you kidding me? I love just hearing what they're putting out, where their thought process is, and it's free. That's still the wildest part to me, about all this stuff. Like, okay, you got to listen to an ad for 30 or 60 seconds. Give me a break. Like, who cares? You know what I mean? And thank you guys, I guess, for listening to the ads and supporting the sponsors. But it really does mean a lot, and helps those folks believe in what we're doing, so we can keep the content free. If not, there's going to be a paywall. I mean, this is how it works. And frankly, we might have to one day, just with how many people are getting silenced on the internet. But that's a whole nother story. But in the meantime, lawn care is still a free market where we can express our ideas and concerns and views and opinions, right? But no, that's awesome. Well, good for you, man. Let's wrap up with this. What do you happen to be on social media where people can give you a follow? They can say, hey, maybe there's some guys listening in that are in Knoxville. What's your business's name over there? And then what's your handles if you got anything on social?
Yeah, so we're Prentice Lawn and Landscape is the name of the business. Instagram and Facebook, it's at Prentice Lawn. So Prentice is like apprentice, Prentice.
Yep. And that's your last name, right? So it's just a word play on your last name?
Yeah, it's just word play on the last name.
Awesome, man. Awesome.
I get a lot of princess, and I'm like, no, I'm not a princess. That's my wife.
Yeah. There you go. That's awesome. Well, you guys got to give Prentice Daryl a follow. Follow Prentice Lawn Care, on social. It's pretty cool. We'll try to leave some links in the show notes and whatnot. But give him a shout, maybe give him a tag, and give him a follow. But that's awesome, man. It seems like you guys got a great start. I mean, you're only 3-4 years into this thing officially, and rocking 50 lawns, upgrading equipment. Those Caleb Almond is notorious for saying those first 3 to 5 years are very, very formative, and not a ton of profit in terms of maybe taking money out of the company other than to pay your bills, but a lot of reinvesting. And but you can tell you're gaining momentum. You can tell that this thing is growing, man. So really, really excited for you. Really proud of you. And we'll get you back on the show in 6 months, 12 months, whatever it is, and we'll keep getting some updates and follow your progress. How about that?
That works, man. I sure do appreciate it.
All right, brother. Well, hey, by the way, I know it's a little short notice, but are you headed down to Equip Expo since you're down in Tennessee? You're not that far from Louisville.
Yeah, we're not that far. I can't make Equip this year. We had a planned vacation the week before.
Sure.
Going down to Florida, and so I talked to the wife. I was like, man, I really want to go to Equip and this and that. And she's like, well, you can, but you're going to miss 2 weeks of work.
Yep. That's tough.
You're right.
Yep.
So we're going to skip Equip this week. I'd like to go to LAL. I'm trying to go to LAL.
Cool.
Seeing if I can make that work.
If so, we'd love to have you, man. It's going to be a riot, and tickets are still going strong, guys. So thank you to everybody who's bought a ticket, getting a ticket. That's our live event on November 12th, Saturday. You guys can get more info at launchpreneuracademy.com. But yeah, dude, that's awesome. I mean, like I said, if you guys don't make an event, we're still friends. It's not the end of the world. But nonetheless, if you are going, I just want to look out for you so I can put a face to the name and get to catch up with my friends, So
yeah.
I love it.
We'll have to meet up next year at Equip. I'll be there no matter what next year.
Well, you can always plan a family vacation with the Equip. That's what Liz and I just do now. Is we just take the whole week, and there's a lot to do in Louisville, to be honest, which is kind of you never would think, honestly. But there's a lot of fun stuff to do, and they got some really cool gems part of the city, and they put all that stuff on the visitor map or whatever you call it now on the website, because most people are bringing the wife, the kids, and all that mess, and. It's a lot, man. And plus your 13, 14-year-old son, he would probably eat up looking at all that equipment. I'll tell you that. So
yeah. He was like, I was talking about it and he's like, oh, can I go ride on it? I was like, no, you got to be 16. He's like, oh man.
Yeah. Well, 1 or 2 more years and he's right there, So yeah, good looking out. All right, guys. Well, Daryl, we'll appreciate the time, man. We'll button this thing up. Super appreciate taking time out of your weekend morning here and jumping on the show with me. And always appreciate getting different guests, different opinions, and different perspectives on everything that's got going on in the green industry. So we'll button it up right here, guys. Thanks so much for listening in. We'll kick it back over to Marty, Mr. Producer, to wrap this thing up, and we'll look forward to catching up with you guys here on the next one.
Billy Goat is excited to introduce its new high-volume cleanup Leaf Dragon leaf loader. The unit's fuel-efficient 37 gross HP EFI Vanguard 933cc engine is coupled to a 25-inch diameter shredding impeller with a long-span belt for increased life and generates 6,900 CFM of leaf suction. The electric start engine features automotive-style cold weather starting and is up to 25% more fuel-efficient than carbureted models. A 16-inch diameter times 10-foot long hose affords true curbside intake and is supported with a 3-position locking boom, allowing for 45 square feet of cleanup coverage before moving the unit. That's double the reach of most other units on the market, offering large jumps in crew productivity. The double-loop hose handle provides 3 unique positions for added operator ergonomics. A 2-pin door closure provides fast access impeller and liner inspection, and a soft-angle discharge chute reduces wear. The unit includes an integral road-ready DOT trailer and delivers everything you need to burn through your leaf cleanups this fall.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Brian. Really quick, I just wanted to let you guys know that Launchpreneur Academy Live 2022 is a go and tickets are selling out fast. One thing I want to help you guys out with is getting your business to the next level. That is my mission with all the content that we put out with YouTube, Instagram, the podcast, and so much more. Well, the best way to do it is to learn from some of the best in the industry. And in my opinion, that's going to be at Launchpreneur Academy Live this November 12th, Saturday. It's a 1-day conference up here in Novi, Michigan. Over the years, we've sold tickets to these events and they always pack out. This year, I wanted to totally sell out the event by the end of September. Can you guys help me out? Can we do sold out September where you guys get your ticket? Last year, we sold 40% of our tickets in the last 3 to 4 weeks of the event, which we'll take it and we appreciate it. It'd be nice to know that we have the 400 tickets sold by the end of September and the event is sold out or close to being sold out months in advance. How about that? That way we're not sitting around wondering how many catalogs do we need, what's the food order going to be, and all that other fun stuff. Long story short, guys, one thing I say on the podcast a lot is some people treat a crumb like a feast and other people treat a feast like a crumb. Which one are you going to be? If you guys can help me out, I want to have you there. Get your ticket to LAL. Go to launchpreneuracademy.com/store. Go under the store section to buy your ticket and get one for you, get one for your foreman, maybe get one for your spouse, your girlfriend, your fiance, and come on up to Novi, Michigan and check out this 1-day conference. We've got guys like James Mansky coming in, who's going to help you guys grow your business. Mike Andes, Nick Carlson, Paver Pete, Mark Bradley, the founder and owner of LMN, and so much more. Guys, we'd love to host you up here in Novi, Michigan. Get your hotel rooms, get your tickets, come up there, check this thing out, and get your ticket here secured in the month of September. By the way, October 1st, the price does go up $50 to $249 a ticket, so why wait? Get your ticket today for $197, and we look forward to seeing you there.
Thanks for taking the time to listen to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast with Brian Fullerton. We hope you enjoyed this production. If so, please consider leaving us a 5-star review for the show. While the techniques and ideas presented here are designed to help you grow a more successful and profitable business, no one can guarantee these results for you. We want to emphasize that entrepreneurship is not easy, and the ideas presented here are just the opinions of Brian Fullerton and his respective guests. No one can guarantee success for you. That being said, we hope the ideas presented here help you and motivate you to go on out there and crush it with your own business.
Fullerton Unfiltered Podcast.
Thanks for listening, and we hope to see you on the next episode.
This has been a Brian Fullerton and Mr. Producer production.